A while back, actually several months ago, I did a video on this topic, and it turned out really well. I was really pleased with it, and then I lost it. I couldn't believe it. I was looking for it the other day, because I was thinking, boy, we haven't uploaded the video on cars, and where is it? Where is it? It's one of my better videos. It's gone. I don't know. It's probably in the folder with all my kids' baby pictures. I'll find it one day as I'm trying to embarrass him in front of his future wife. But hey, something to look forward to. So here goes part two. I doubt this one will be as good as the first, but we'll try. Very common question asked of us is, what do we do about cars? Well, first of all, there's two questions. One is, if I have a car and it's in a loan or a lease, can I keep that car even if I do a bankruptcy or a proposal? The answer is yes. The other is, what happens if I can't afford to keep this car anymore, but I still need a car? So the first question is really the easy one. If you do a bankruptcy or a proposal and you have a car loan or a lease and you say, hey, look, I've got all these other debts, but I really want to keep my car. Do I have to give this up? The answer is no. As long as you pay for that car, whether it's a lease or a loan, it's your car. Okay? Car loans and leases are what's known as secured debts. Same thing goes with mortgages, same thing goes with trailer loans or anything like that. Anytime there's an asset attached to that debt, it's technically secured. And what we tell people is, I always say to people as I'm doing the workup and asking them about their life and their situation, I say, do you want to keep the car? And the most common response is, yeah. And I say, great, just keep paying for it. It's no problem. And sometimes people are like, well, you're sure no one's going to take it, right? Yeah, I'm sure. No one's going to take it. Now, if you stop paying for the car, then big guys will show up and take your car away very quickly. The irony about car loans, I've always found this amusing. Actually, I'll get to this in a second because it works better in the context of what do we do if someone can't afford a car? Because every now and then I'll be sitting with someone, they'll tell me about all the debts they have, the credit cards, the loans, the lines of credit, the taxes, and they'll say, listen, I don't think I can afford this car anymore. I got a really bad deal. The most common bad deal we see is someone will have a car with a 5-year term. And around year 2 or 3, they'll get a phone call from the dealership that sold them the first car. And they'll say, hey, how you like that Corolla that you're driving? Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, Corolla's fine. Yeah. How'd you like to upgrade to like a RAV4, or a Highlander? I think that's a Toyota. Yeah. And people will say, I can do that? I can upgrade? Yeah, it's easy. You just trade in the Corolla. Except for recently where car values have gone kind of crazy over the last few months. If you know anything about car loans, you know that if you've had the car for only about 2 years or so, you still have negative equity. Okay, meaning the car is worth this, but the loan is that. Okay, you're upside down. You're not trading in anything. All you're doing is you're taking the 8, 10, 14,000 that you still owe on that car and you're dumping it on the brand new car. And of course, the dealer, the guy who sells it to you, is beautiful because he's the man who got me into the nicer car. And people love cars. See my last video just talking about death by 1,000 cuts and living at your means. People they won't blow their brains out on rent, they'll blow their brains out on cars. I can only assume it's because you parade your car around town, whereas nobody ever really sees the place you live. And even from the outside, no one can really tell whether it's special. But in this case, that's the most common bad car loan we see. And we see people driving Civics paying almost $600 a month. I mean, it's crazy. They're driving a RAV4, they're driving a Sienna, they're driving something really nice. It's already expensive, but it's made even more expensive by about $150 a month because they rolled in an old loan. And they'll look at me and they'll say, like, Zach, I can't drive this anymore. You got to get me out of this. But I tried giving back the car and they told me I can't do it. Well, you can do it, but it's true. You can't just give it back. If you give it back, they're going to say, well, your car's worth this. You owe that. That, the shortfall, is what you owe us. You're going to have to pay that now. And of course, they're trapped. So they'll say, what can I do? And I'll say, well, we can do a switch, which means the first thing we have to do is we have to see if we can get that person a more affordable vehicle. Okay, so we have to, I'm sympathetic to the needs of people. If you have a larger family, you're probably driving a van. You're not driving a little coupe or anything like that. But I'll tell them, let's see if we can get you a better deal. And we probably can, even if we get the exact same car, because this car won't have negative equity thrown into it. What happens to the negative equity? That goes in the restructuring plan, the proposal. Okay, so we can usually get it, but we don't want to make a move until we know we can get this person approved. And I tell them, I say, look, you can go with your own guy. I do have contacts in the industry who I trust and I've been using for years. And the reason I trust them is I know if they can't do anything, or this is the best they can do, I know they're not BSing me. So that's step one. Can we get you a car? We can. Terrific. And I always, by the way, guys, there is a caveat here just in case someone's listening to this and they're thinking of doing this. Little word of advice. Don't get a piece of crap, but don't be so bloody picky. The number of times I've gotten people a car and they say to me, oh, you'll never get me approved. I tried looking for something. My credit's terrible already. I owe all this money. No one will ever get me approved. You got me approved? I don't believe it. That's amazing. Why isn't it leather seats? Yeah, this happens. You probably think I'm embellishing, right? This happens. My personal favorite. Yeah, Zach, I know the car's cheaper. I know it's a good car. I just can't see myself in a car like that. Okay, if you're 7'4" and I'm trying to sell you a little compact car, I get it, but otherwise, shut up and take the car. This happened, folks. People are in debt for a reason. But anyways, so we'll see if we can get people approved for the vehicle. If they can get approved for the vehicle, what we then do is we have to give back the other vehicle. Now, this is an exercise in comedy because have you ever tried to give back a car? Nobody wants it because they know 9 times out of 10, again, we're living in strange times now with supply chain issues, but 9 times out of 10, the dealer knows they're going to lose on the vehicle. They know there's negative equity. One of the great ironies of life is if someone's driving a car and they miss a car payment, maybe they're struggling, they've been off work for a while, they've been sick, their hours are reduced, they were laid off, whatever it is, and they miss a payment, they'll get a call within a day or two saying, hey, you didn't pay. Yeah, I know, I'm trying my best, you got to make a payment by the end of the week. You don't make a payment by the end of the week, we're coming for that car, we're taking you. No, don't do that, I'll think of something. It's hilarious. Well, actually, that's not the hilarious part. Here's the hilarious part. Try this if someone calls because you missed a payment. Hi, you missed a payment. You got to make a payment this week or we're coming to get the car. Come get your car. Watch what happens. They don't know how to react to that. The person will you want us to get the car? Yeah, come get your car. I don't want it anymore. They don't want your car. Okay? So if you want to dare them, funny enough, then they'll start saying, maybe we can work something out. They don't want your car. They don't want it. They just want you to think they're coming to get it. Giving back a car can be hell. Fortunately, one of the guys I deal with when it comes to getting cars, he lets people park their car on his lot. That way you don't have to park 2 cars at home, especially if you only have 1 parking space. So what's going on here? Why are we giving back the car? First thing you need to know is in Ontario, and that's where I am, Ontario is what's known as a seize and sue province, meaning if you give up a car and you stop paying for it, the person who gave you the car or who was financing the car can not only seize the car, take it from you, but they can then sue you for what's known as the shortfall. Shortfall, again, you owe this, the car is worth that. That is the shortfall. Other provinces are seize or sue. No such luck in Ontario. Okay, so the reason we're giving back the car is we need to take that unsecured portion of debt, because once the car is given back, whatever's owing is now unsecured debt. You can only repossess a car once. So that is what we put on the proposal. So just to reiterate, how does this work? If someone says, I can't afford the car, the first thing we have to do is help them find a car that is more affordable. Once they are approved for that car, we have to give back the other car, and usually by the time we file, the car is still in the client's possession. No one comes and picks up the car that quickly, but we make sure to not only make a note on the file that they are relinquishing the vehicle. I always take the time to fax or contact, whether it's Toyota financing, Hyundai financing, Ford credit, CIBC, RBC. We always let them know, hey, they're giving up the car, come get your car. It takes anywhere from 3 to 8 weeks for them to get the car. What usually happens is someone either gets a phone call saying, hey, we're coming for the car, where is it, so we can pick it up, or they wake up the next day and the car's gone. But that is ultimately how you do a switch on a car. And it's about 1 out of every 10 files, I would say, where someone does have a car because the car is just eating them alive. So I really want people to know you can switch out of a car. We just have to get you approved for another one, and you need to understand that, it may not be leather seats with the moonroof, okay? That's how it works, guys, okay? More information on cars in future videos. Take care.